Hey there. Welcome to today's episode of Five Overlooked Ways to Fight for Your Marriage When Separated from Your Spouse. We're going to talk about some of the unique and surprising ways that you can use to fight for your marriage when you're separated from your spouse, even if things are not where they're supposed to be right now. Maybe the signs are not encouraging. Maybe the separation has been going on for some time. Maybe you're just in the early stages of separation, or in the middle of, or the latter stages of wherever you might be, or trying to reconcile seeing that you're now separated. But it doesn't have to be the end of your relationship. Some people are very scared about the word separation, but sometimes separation might be an opportunity for a reset. Maybe it's calling attention to something that needed to be called attention to. And so a separation, if it's intentional and it's an idea of we're going to get back together, or we want to get back together, but we need to get some things taken care of, it could be seen as an opportunity. So in this video, we're going to share some practical tips and strategies that can help you reconcile and build a stronger, more loving relationship with your spouse. So whether you're just starting the process of trying to reconnect with your spouse, or you're already well into it, you've already started this whole process, this video is for you. So I want you to sit back and grab something to a notebook or your electronic device you could take some notes on, and let's get started. Now, I'm going to share five overlooked ways, and you'll see why I use the word overlooked in a few moments. But I want to share up front that the fifth way, the overlooked way that I'll share, it might take you first take you off guard. It might be surprising that I'm mentioning that in the context of trying to work on a separation, and you'll hear what I mean by that when I get there. And it may seem counterproductive to this topic, but I want you to, when I get there and I mention it, to not have a knee-jerk reaction, but just to listen to the whole context, because that is very important. And that's on the fifth one, and I'll let you know when I get there. Now, if you're hearing me for the first time, it's wondering who I am, and speaking on topics like this one, let me just say that I'm Kingsley Grant, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified relationship coach, and I help married couples have happier marriages. Now, having counseled, literally hundreds, and coached hundreds of couples over the past several years, and I would say with quite a bit of success. Doesn't mean that every one of them were successful, but majority of them that I've worked with have had some level of success, depending on where they are when they first came in. And I've had couples who came in very on the edge of the divorce, ready for a divorce, and some have been separated. So when I talk about this today, you will see that I'm speaking from an experiential standpoint as well. So I have also been married for more than 3 decades, close to 4 decades. So I think that I'm more than qualified, as you will see, to talk about topics like this one. And I hope, you'll kind of come to that realization and see at the end. But again, that's not the whole point. I'm not here to try to prove a point. Now, let me also recommend that you listen to my podcast, Happier Marriage Secrets podcast, and that is available on all platforms that you can listen to a podcast. You can go to my website as well, happiermarriagesecrets.com. And you have an access to the menu for the podcast and also the blogs, and you can hear more of my thoughts and topics that I've spoken about in the past. So at the end of this video, I want to stay to the end, because I'll share with you how to get a free ebook on the topic of 5 secrets to your happier marriage, the roadmap to the marriage you've always wanted and so deserve. So let's dive in then today's topic. In today's topic, 5 overlooked ways to fight for your marriage when separated from your spouse. The first way that I have here is focus on personal growth. One of the things that I find in couples that when they get married, sometimes there is a tendency to no longer focus on personal growth. And it might be the very thing that attracted your spouse to you. at the very beginning, and you may not no longer see the necessity or got so busy, life happens, and you've not been focusing on your personal growth. But this could be an opportunity in separation to take the time to focus on your personal growth and well-being, right? Because it helps you to become a better partner, and it also improves your self-confidence. Here's what happens when that takes place. You can become more attractive to your spouse. She or he may remember, yeah, this is a person that I remember who was so ambitious and was all into personal growth, and all of a sudden they've stopped. So you may also want to consider taking up a new hobby or pursuing things that have personal interest, because again, you're seeking to show you're not doing this for your spouse, you're doing this for you. This is very important. You're doing this for you, that you're going to continue either way, whatever happens, which I'm hoping that is a reconciliation, but you're going to keep on focusing on your personal growth, because you could take this as an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Number two, seek professional development, or seek to professionally develop yourself, right? Again, going back to the idea of when people get married, life happens, children comes into play, and I get it. I too have been there. And so I want to encourage you to consider to keep on learning, right? Expanding your mind. Never stop learning. Learning should never stop. So take a course or attend a workshop or some workshops that you may find interest in to develop your personal skills, right? Because what this does is show that you're still living. Yes, you might be sad because your spouse is not with you, and you are having, nights where he or she's not there in the bed with you and not available readily as you would like them because of the separation. But you can still develop yourself. And what it will also do, it will show your spouse, even though this is not the intention, you're not doing this for him or her, you will show them that you are dedicated to self-improvement. And it can also bring about positive changes to your life and to your relationship with your spouse, but also other relationships as well, professional and personal. Now, number three is practice mindfulness and self-care. This is one of those areas of self-care that I think a lot of people I see as couples, one or both, no longer do self-care. And what happened is that self-care is so important. For example, for as a wife, maybe it's getting your nails done or your hair done or your nails, your fingernails, toenails. Maybe it's just having an exercise routine. Maybe it's listening to audiobooks or podcasts, or doing something that's productive, reading a book, right? Meditation, yoga. Those are self-care things where you're trying to develop yourself and become a better version of yourself, right? Because it helps you to manage stress, especially now that the separation is in play. It can be stressful, especially if you have now to contend with the kids, if you have kids or other things to take care of, or the animals. So it can be stressful. It's so important then to take some time to create a space for yourself to improve your overall emotional well-being and make you a more positive and resilient person. So this is one of those reasons why I believe it's important to practice mindfulness and self-care. Number four, get involved in a community. This is so critical. One of the things I find is so helpful, especially when you're in a separation context, right? Going through a separation, is to have people around you, the right kind of people. So for me, I would encourage you, if you're a person of faith, to get involved in a community in your church, a support group. Maybe it's to offer your service, offer your help, right? And it provides you a sense of purpose, because you're aligning yourself with your values and your interests, and they're doing things that you may want to involve in. And your social connections you're expanding that. And so it gives you that supportive network outside of your marriage, which is important, which I think should be, every marriage should have, every spouse should have a community based where they are, for example, developing themselves. For me, I do a lot of virtual. So it could be a mastermind. It could be a community that I join. It could be a paid community. I prefer the paid community, which I'm in a couple of those, because it's the quality of the people there and the conversations are much higher, because If you invest, the more you pay, the more attention you pay. When it's for free, people do it can be helpful, but I recommend possibly a paid community of some kind. But if you're in your church, I think being there to help out and participating there, you can develop new skills and interests and make connections and build a network and make you a more well-rounded person and a more attractive person. Now, so the very first four I've covered so far is: number one, focus on personal growth. Number two, seek professional development to pursue that. Number three, practice mindfulness and self-care. And number four, get involved in a community. Now, before I share with you the fifth way about your marriage and the separation idea, I want to give you three quick things to do, right? Three quick things to do. And and I'm going to go in succession. The first thing is I want you to smash, right? To smash the subscribe button, right? Smash the subscribe button. The second thing I want you to do is hit the thumbs up, right? The like button, click on that. And number three is click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified of all new releases of this channel, right? You don't want to miss anything that's, been put out that's coming up. So make sure you do those three things, right? Now, let me give you number five. I mentioned earlier that when you hear it, don't have a knee-jerk reaction, but listen to the whole context, because this is very important. Number five is cultivate relationships outside of marriage. Cultivate relationships outside of marriage. Now, I know the first thought is, am I suggesting that you get into a romantic relationship? No, 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 no. That is not, it's never a good thing, but it's even worse if you're in a separation, right? So it's never a good thing at any point, but it's even worse inside when you're going through a separation. So you want to build and maintain strong relationships with friends and family members. That's outside of marriage. And that should be happening even when you're having a marriage where you think is healthy and there's no separation. It's important for you to have a community, build other relationships around you. Having a supportive network, it provides you with emotional and practical support you need during this difficult time. Imagine having a group of people who can pray with you, who knows what's going on. It's a small group, and they're praying with you, encouraging you. They're kind of motivating you. That's not what I'm looking for, but inspire you to keep on growing. If you're working out and they're seeing and they can say, "Hey, man, you're looking good. Look at how much you lost weight you have lost," or whatever it is, right? Or they may see you going to take, professionally developing and say, "Wow, you are getting this certification or this degree," whatever it might be. So you want to then have them to celebrate you during this very difficult and challenging time. And you have a more fulfilling life outside of your marriage that can make you more attractive, because sometimes to your partner, to your spouse, because sometimes they may feel like, you don't have a life, and they feel the weight that everything, comes to you depending on them, and they have to be there. It's draining sometimes. So I want to encourage you to cultivate relationships outside of the marriage, but make sure it's healthy relationships, not unhealthy ones at all. I would never be advocating for that. So these are the five, I believe, overlooked ways. They're overlooked because sometimes these are not what you see often. It's not what you hear often. But I want to mention again, focus on personal growth. Number two, seek professional development. Number three, it is to practice mindfulness and self-care. Number four, get involved in a community. And number five, it is to cultivate relationships outside of marriage. Now, I'd love to hear from you what your thoughts on this. Which of these that stood out to you, and you could see how this could help you if you're going through a separation? I'd love to hear. Comment below and let me hear your thoughts on this. And even if you may have some other ideas, you can also comment below. And if you ask a question, I'll do my best to answer and respond to that, right? Now, before I tell you how to get the free ebook, let me remind you to make sure you smash that subscribe button, right? Hit that like button and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos that are posted on this channel. And remember to listen to the Happier Marriage Secrets podcast by going to happiermarriagesecrets.com and you'll be able to access the podcast and the blog posts that's there as well. And I wanted to tell about an exciting thing that I'm coming up with, and I'll tell you more about that. And that is, I'm creating a deck of cards for couples. It's called Connect Strong, and it's fun and interactive conversational cards that will give you a chance to be able to interact with your spouse, and on dates or anniversary, or just sometimes sitting down at home, spending some time together. These cards will come in so handy. They'll be very physical cards, and I'm working on that, and you'll hear more about that as time gets closer to how I make them available to you. So stay tuned for that. And if you're listening to this, watching this video, maybe sometime that, whenever it is, check in and make sure that you didn't miss the announcement someplace, that, check my video. Again, that's why it's so important to hit that notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss any announcement about this upcoming things, right? I'm also working on a new ebook, but I'll tell you more about that later. So to get your free ebook, go to KingsleyGrant.com/HMS ebook, KingsleyGrant.com/HMS ebook, and you'll be able to access this free gift that I have for you. All the links will be posted below, so don't have to worry about if you missed this. You'll find the links below. You can click on that. It'll take you right there to what I've just said. So again, I want to thank you for watching and being here today. And so with that said, my friend, let's make marriages happier again. With that said, peace out. God bless you. And I'll see you next time.